Welcome to the Beauty Rebellion Masterclass. We are so excited you're here. As a matter of fact, today marks the day that transformation begins, and we're going to look at the past as the past, and we're moving forward. We're going to put a stake in the ground and say, you know what? I'm going to call my shots. I'm going to live the life that I was called to live, and I'm going to take my health and my body back. And that's our right, by divine right. So the things I'm going to talk to you about today, I think are going to really blow your mind, and they're going to empower you. And more than anything, they're going to give you hope. Listen, I sat in the doctor's chair almost 20 years ago, and she said, Jaime, you have a thyroid condition. You'll more than likely never have children. If you do get pregnant, you'll probably miscarry. And then she went on to give me a whole long list of issues that I would suffer from with this condition. And then a few years later, I was diagnosed with autoimmune Hashimoto's disease. And so I have been on now a 12 plus year journey of healing my own body and helping hundreds of thousands of people do the same. By the way, I'm Jaime Cross. I am the herbal alchemist, and I have now helped thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people take their life back. And all of that happens, first of all, just through understanding what's actually available to you, what your body is actually capable of. And so applied knowledge is power. And I'm going to give you guys some amazing knowledge that will help you take proper action so that you can ultimately live the life that you were called to live. And there's so much more for you. And whatever diagnosis you've gotten, wherever you're at in your health and your beauty, I know we all want to lose weight. We all want to get, have healthy hair growth, and we want wrinkles to go away. And I'm here to say that all of those things are a natural byproduct of just healing the body. We can talk about metabolic healing. We can talk about cellular restoration, all of those great things. And no longer is weight loss the focus. No longer is anti-aging the focus. Now it's just, how do I really take care of this great gift that I have? So the very first principle I want to talk about before we dive into any of the training is the idea of stewardship. Now, everywhere we look, we can see diet culture, we can see all the lists and the do's and the don'ts, and eat this and don't eat that. And part of my message as an herbal alchemist is to lead people back to themselves. We have intuition, and we have so much of what we need right inside of here. And we know how to eat, we know how to do the thing, but our foods and our society has led us to creating really negative habits. And so part of breaking habits is just having a really good perspective on how to move forward. And so what I'm going to teach you today isn't about do's and don'ts, it's about stewardship. Your body is a gift, and when you realize and recognize what it's capable of doing, once you begin to really start to create powerful habits, it's all you can do but to want to reward your body and keep feeding it with life and nutrients and giving it the best of everything you can possibly give it. So let's think about everything I'm going to talk about today as stewardship, an opportunity to steward what we've been given faithfully with this amazing body. The second thing I really want to talk about is ultimately, we can talk about weight loss, we can talk about anti-aging, we can talk about hair growth, and there's scientific principles that go along with all of that. But if we're going to get really down to the root cause, which is part of our message here in the Beauty Rebellion, it's about getting to the heart and the root of what's causing our bodies to suffer. And we can talk about the truth of inflammation, and that's really so much of where illness is coming from. It's as simple as reducing inflammation in the body. And inflammation is a symptom. The inflammation is a reaction that the body gives us, and then what happens, we go to the doctor, we get medicine, and it reduces inflammation, but the problem isn't necessarily being recovered or taken care of. And so I'm all about getting to the root cause and talking about the heart of how to really care and nurture the body. And so let's dive in here. So when we talk about skin, sleep, slim, right? Or you could say sleep, skin, slim, whatever the order of it is. That's really the focus of this particular masterclass. And why did I choose these categories? First of all, sleep. Let's talk about sleep. And it's a very simple thing. Most people are not getting enough sleep. And I think part of that is because they don't recognize what happens when they sleep. But sleep is when your body heals. That's when your body is detoxifying. So as you breathe out, your body is eliminating toxins. When you wake up in the morning and you go to the bathroom, you're eliminating toxins that way. Even your fingernails are releasing toxins as you sleep. But all of the cell restoration that's happening and the things that are rebuilding in your body as you're sleeping happens primarily when you sleep. Think about when you've gone to bed at night with like a paper cut or some kind of cut, and you wake up and there's restoration in your skin. Imagine that. Your skin has been working all night to restore beauty. And here's the beautiful thing about your body too, is that it's always striving for a state of beauty, whether externally or internally. When you begin to nurture it, we want to remove the blockage and nurture it with all the things it needs to do what it naturally does, which it's always fighting for your beauty, always fighting for a state of homeostasis, right? And so sleep is critical. And one of the tips I'd like to say and talk about is there are essential oil blends and herbs and naturopathic balms that you can use. And so I'm going to talk about that at the end here, that will help you to get into a deep sleep and into a restorative sleep pattern so that your body can get the maximum benefit of what's happening while you're sleeping. Think about hair growth and anti-aging and restoration and reducing inflammation. So much of that is going to happen when you're sleeping, but if you're getting a limited amount of sleep and if you're not getting good quality sleep, that's going to affect you. But there are essential oils and there are some really amazing tips that I'm going to share with you here in just a minute that are going to help you restore sleep. One of them is that you want to be up with the sun and you want to look at the sun with your eyeballs before it gets too bright. And so this is really interesting. The sun is like a charger for your batteries. So think about your cells like little batteries. And when you look into the sun and you're out there getting sunlight, your body is being restored and recharged. Your cells are. But what's happening is when you look into the sun, it's reprogramming and resetting your circadian rhythm. And so you're going to have this craving to go to bed on time and wake up earlier. It's really incredible how nature will do that for us. So that's your first quick tip, is begin to get up with the sun and watch the sunrise. It'll restore you emotionally as well. There's such an amazing mood boost that happens with that. And then we'll talk about the essential oil factor here in just a minute. The second thing we're going to talk about is skin. Now, your skin is not wallpaper, right? Your skin is a living, breathing, as a matter of fact, it's the largest organ in your body. But what do? We dump soaps and lotions and perfumes onto our skin, and we wonder why we're sick at such young ages, right? As a matter of fact, they've done all kinds of tests on cancer tissues, breast cancer tissues especially, and they find ingredients from these toxic products in the cancer tissue. And so we absorb toxins through what we eat, breathe, put on our skin, and what we let into our soul. So eat, breathe, skin, soul. And I'll talk about the soul here factor in just a minute. But isn't that interesting? What we're breathing in, when you step into the shower in the morning and we're vaporizing all these chemicals, the average woman is ingesting about 500 chemicals into her body every single day. Don't let this overwhelm you. There are some simple things that you can do to ditch and enrich. And again, remember, this is about stewardship. This is about a lifelong journey. This is not about do's and don'ts, but it is about discipline. Right? And so discipline, we know, is not easy at the time, but it will produce these incredible results for you if you stick with the discipline. And it's about changing our habits. It's not about goals. It's not about, hey, I want to lose 5 pounds. It's not about, hey, I want to, look 10 years younger. It's about what habits do I need to create in my life that are going to steward my body well, so that the ultimate response and result of our body is, well, we end up losing weight. We end up looking younger. We end up having amazing hair growth, right? We end up being healthy, having energy, mental clarity. We perform amazingly. We end up reaching these great heights in life because we are just creating these incredible habits. So with your skin, here's the key thing, is that it's very, we have a microbiome in our gut and we have a microbiome in our skin. And so when we're using these chemical soap products and lotion products even, they are disrupting that microbiome. And what's really interesting as well is that I see ads and I see people's marketing and they're like, oh, don't use soap, use this other blah, blah, blah bar. But if you look at that bar, it's actually a detergent bar. And so avoid detergent bars. Detergents are chemically produced cleansing bars, where soap, the actual definition of soap is naturally occurring cleanser. And so, for instance, we take fat and alkaline, a salt, and we combine the two. So we take, farm fresh olive oil and shea butter and coconut oil and herbs, and we combine it to mix into this incredible bar, perfectly balanced, that is going to help restore. Think about your skin as like a garden, and it's got all these amazing, just what it produces in beauty, and there's all these microorganisms that we want to protect, and we want to do that with a good, nurturing, properly balanced bar of soap, as well as the lotion. So let's talk about your lotion for a minute here. So much disruption happens when we use water-based skincare products, and I know that seems kind of crazy. If you look at most of the lotions out there, they're going to have water as the first, second, or third ingredient. But here's why that's a problem. Water is unstable. So when you put it into a skincare product, it's going to require stabilizers, emulsifiers, which means it's got to congeal with all the other ingredients, and it's also going to require preservatives. And so most companies are not investing in quality preservatives, and so what you have is a potentially toxic product. But that's just the first part. The second part of water is that it attracts water. So when you put water on your skin, or water-based lotion on your skin, it's pulling moisture out and releasing it into the air. No wonder we're applying lotion 5 times a day and our skin still looks kind of scaly. But if you find a humectant-based lotion, for instance, farm fresh beeswax, you don't want to have beeswax that's been imported and denatured and bleached like most beeswaxes are. You want to find a waterless lotion product that is farm fresh beeswax, essential oils, herbal oils, and herbal in nature. And I'll talk about that here in a minute as well. Okay, so with your skin, it's just so critical. It's like your first line of defense besides what you put in your mouth. Okay, the next topic here, and before we actually move on, I just want to, so with the skin, it's just so, most of the issues that we see, even with, not just wrinkles, and I've helped people with the dry, cracked, flaky, problematic, breakout-prone skin. I used to have horrible breakout-prone skin, and it's about restoring balance from the gut as much as it is about using the right skincare products. And so that's one more key thing with skincare or having beautiful skin. It's not just about the products that you're using externally or topically. It's also about how we eat. And I'm going to share a little bit about what you can begin to do every day in incorporating nutrients in your diet that's going to actually feed your skin from the inside out. And did you know that there's foods that you can actually eat that will help you with sunscreen naturally? I would love to go deep on sunscreen alone, but that's for another day. Okay, and then the idea of slim. Okay, weight loss. Now, listen, most people have, first of all, about 10 to 20 pounds of excess weight just sitting in their colon alone because they're not properly eliminating. And I'm not talking about taking laxatives and, using products, because you can actually be eliminating, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your body is detoxifying properly. And so you want to incorporate a whole food diet that I'll talk about here in just a minute, along with amazing herbal herbs that will help your bodies support the kidneys, the liver, and pull toxins out of your bloodstream. Because again, when it comes to weight loss, we want to start with this idea of reducing inflammation in the body. Most of us are bloated because of what we're eating. We're having these inflammatory responses constantly with what we're eating, but we've gotten so used to it, we don't even realize that our body has the potential to be super slim without even doing the whole next step, which is moving your body, right? So when we think about elimination, we want to think about proper elimination and detoxification, and that happens through what you're eating and consuming. So I have an amazing green smoothie recipe that we're going to share with you here at the end that is going to help you. It's super simple, it tastes amazing, but it's restoring your gut flora. It's helping to pull toxins out of your body. And then we also have an herbal herbal collection that is just so critical for supporting the kidney and the liver and the bloodstream. And these things have to happen because another reason that so many of us have inflammation in the body is that we're consuming water-based and oil-based toxins. And so your body is really good at eliminating water-based toxins, through hydration and sweating and those kinds of things. But a lot of the chemicals we're ingesting today in our society, our bodies were never meant to digest and to try to eliminate. So we need a little bit of help, and we have herbs that can do that, especially some fermented herbs. The next thing that's really important to talk about is this idea of the soul. Now, we can be eating right, using the right skincare products, and still be carrying stress. And so stress, I will tell you, is the number one killer. I mean, if you want to talk about inflammation, so much of disease comes because your body was never meant to carry heavy weights of stress. And how stress scientifically impacts the body, it's critical that we take some time. This is why part of what we're going to do is here I'm going to tell you about an amazing 5-day challenge that I've created that's going to help you de-stress. It's going to help you incorporate herbs and nutrition so that we can begin to reduce the inflammation, get the glowing skin, lose the weight, and get the best sleep we've had probably in years. And this is what I've now helped hundreds of thousands of people do for the last 12 plus years. Okay, so it's really important that you take some time to journal and meditate every day, that you align yourself with the truth. The truth is what's going to set people free. And if you're waking up first thing in the morning and you're checking the news and you're checking your phone and you're going to bed heavy-hearted, maybe somebody's hurt you and you're carrying bitterness and unforgiveness, those are the things we just have to release. We have to let those things go. And we do that by taking time to think on these things that are pure and lovely and good, and imagining this amazing future that you are called to, and seeing yourself rising, seeing yourself going from one level to the next, and seeing yourself at the vision. I'm constantly picturing myself impacting people, and we have this farm where we're growing so many of our herbs, and I think about the kind of things we want to do with the farm alone, and just restoring hearts and restoring lives back to what they were originally intended for. Life tends to pull us away from what's true and what's noble and what's good, but if we take the time every day to meditate on the good things and to journal out and to release, so when people come to mind who have hurt you, that's an opportunity to release unforgiveness and bitterness and to forgive, and you'll be amazed at just the response that your body has when you begin to release stress. If it's financial stress or the other stresses, things that you have to, I always talk about, take some time and write the vision down, have a plan and make it plain, and then create the habits that are necessary to go after the plan. So whatever the financial situation that you're in, there are solutions to that problem, but you've got to take the time to think through your strategy and write it down, and then begin to develop the habits that are going to get you out of the situation that you're in. If it's relational stress, I often talk about boundaries in what we're doing, because you could be doing all this incredible work to restore your body and to restore your heart and your soul, but if you're constantly letting people back into your life who are robbing you, and I always think about life as you're building this beautiful garden, and there's this opportunity to have all this amazing fruit trees and food and beautiful flowers, and then what we do sometimes is we let the weeds come in, and then if we don't take care of the weeds, and I can tell you this as a gardener and as a farmer, as an herbalist, the weeds will take over all the good fruit, all the good production that's happening in your orchard and in your garden. If you don't handle those weeds, they will take over and destroy the good fruit. So we have to have boundaries. We have to protect our soul from the toxicity, and it's healthy to have boundaries, okay? So, and then let's just talk real quick about what you're breathing in. I know the perfumes, I know people like to burn the candles and have the plugins and all the things, but one of the most powerful ways to get nutrients or toxins into the body is through what you're breathing in. Have you ever gone to the hospital before and they put you under and they didn't inject you with anything. They actually just put something over your nose and you breathed in medicine and it put you to sleep, right? How powerful is what we're breathing in? And yet here we are vaporizing chemicals. We're breathing in chemical toxins through our candles. We're spraying on perfumes. And this is not to overwhelm you. Remember, your body knows what to do with all of that stuff. But we've got to remove the stress and we have to start nutrifying it, nourishing it, and choosing the abundance. And so here's the crazy thing. When I think about diet culture and the do's and don'ts of all of that, I always think about, when you put in front of you like only good options, then you don't have to choose. You can have all of it. It's an abundance mindset. So, I'm eating raw milks and raw cheeses, and I'm eating fresh vegetables and fruits. And you might be thinking, okay, that's a really expensive and time-consuming way to live. And I get it. Our culture is very much like, give it to me now, give it to me fast. Just ship me my food to my door, and I don't want to have to deal with it. But listen, you've got to pay the farmer now or the doctor later. The truth is, more people are getting sick at younger and younger ages, and we were never created to be sick. We have to invest the time now to create the habits and the disciplines. Begin to create a culture in your home where you cook as a family, or whatever the case may be. Go grocery shopping together as a family, or you can order your groceries in, or whatever the case may be. But take the time to develop those habits to nourish yourself, and it will be worth it, because I have friends, and we all know people who have gotten chronic diagnosis, and I know the one thing that they say is, if only I could go back a year ago to when I actually had more power in my hands to heal. And when your body is in a crisis situation, then we don't get to have cheat days, then we don't have an option. And so often we go the chemical route. But listen, your body knows how to heal. I always like to talk about my friend Chris Wark, who wrote the book Chris Beat Cancer. And he got a colon cancer diagnosis at like the age of 26, and he cured his cancer in his kitchen, and he tells the story. But your body knows what to do. So this is the beginning. Like I said, this is the beginning of your transformation. This is the beginning of starting to say yes to stewardship, yes to understanding what it takes. Because when you begin to fuel your system, and it's a day by day, line upon line process. I know for me, there was a time when I really craved pasta and I really craved all the breads. But the more I started to make a conscious choice and create the discipline to choose life-giving foods over the processed stuff, my body was rewarding me with energy. I started to see wrinkles. I used to have really heavy-duty melasma from having children, and I don't have that anymore at all. It's because I've changed my habits, right? So I want you guys to look at what this journey is. It is an opportunity to change your habits and to be empowered by what you're capable of, because you were born to do great things. And so here's what we're doing. I have a 5-day Beauty Rebellion challenge. It's really a transformation. I don't like to call it a challenge, but it's more of a transformation where we dive in for 5 days. I have a whole vault of trainings for you. We have a transformation guide with recipes, and it's very simple. I'm not going to overload you and overwhelm you with all the 900 recipes of things I've been learning to cook for the last 20 years. It's a green smoothie recipe that creates oxygen in the cell. It creates transformation in the body. It's going to help reduce inflammation, and it's very satiating. It will fill you up and make you feel so good. We have a 5-day transformation enrichment system. And so this enrichment system is loaded with, we have our Arise system and our Arise packs, which are basically a food-based energy mood boost. It's going to help reduce inflammation. It's a pre-workout drink that tastes so good. It's got basically dehydrated fruit in it and all these amazing nutrients and vitamins. There's that, and then we have the detox supplement, which is rich in fermented herbs and other herbs that are going to help your body eliminate properly. Remember, we talked about pulling out water-based and oil-based chemicals from your system, supporting your liver and your kidneys, and reducing, taking all the stuff out of your bloodstream and helping your body to eliminate that. That's going to be huge for you. You take it before you go to bed. You have you go when you wake up in the morning, you eliminate, and just watch what happens when you start to see that come away. It's also going to help you with cravings, and the Arise will do that as well. It's a cravings crusher, and just incredible, the transformations that we've seen from that. You're also going to get our Farm Fresh charcoal and lavender soap bars. It's got farm fresh honey in it. It has herbs. It's in the perfect ratio. I formulated these bars 12 years ago when I first started what we're doing here. And the transformation, just with that one product alone, you're going to see transformation the first time you use it. We also have the Waterless Lotion Bar that's got the farm fresh beeswax and herbs. It's going to help to protect your skin, restore nutrients, and keep it going with the way that it's naturally intended to be. Its natural state. You're also going to get the amazing blackberry leaf serum, and so that is my favorite product. I formulated this one years ago. We literally take fresh and dried herbs and we infuse them into herbal oils that are going to help protect your skin against the sun. Just the transformation in the anti-aging and the wrinkles and the inflammation that's gone down. Major transformation that's happening with the blackberry leaf serum. And it's super rich. It's like liquid gold. Okay. So, and then we have the sleep balm. Now, the sleep balm, remember in the very beginning I talked about you want to look at the sun when you wake up, and then before you go to bed, watch the sun rise and watch it set, and stare right into the sun before it gets too bright. And that will help to recharge your body in a way that actually helps you go to sleep at night, which is amazing. The sun helps you to sleep really well at night. But then you also want to incorporate herbs and essential oils. And so our sleep balm is bright blue. It has Roman and Moroccan chamomile and a bunch of different essential oil blend that's going to help you relax the mind and relax the body. I know some people struggle with their mind racing at night, and then their body is also super hyperactive. So this is going to help you fall asleep and stay asleep, and it smells divine. You want to do what's called direct inhalation, so you're going to burst the molecules by getting it on your fingertips. You're going to cover your face for about 20 seconds and breathe in deeply, and it will feel like you're in sleep heaven. It smells so good. Do that right before you journal, so it'll kick in. You also put a little bit on the bottom of your feet. Your feet is where you absorb most of the nutrients, and then just watch how your sleep patterns don't begin to transform radically. Okay, so I want to see you in this amazing 5-day transformation with us. Here's a really cool thing too. We have the Enrichment System, which has those products I talked about. But if you upgrade to the Enrichment System X, which has a full-size bar, balm, and boost, you're going to get that whole first enrichment system I talked about for free. Plus with the X, you're going to get free shipping, and it's just incredible. So you're getting all those products plus a full-size lavender lotion bar, lavender cleansing soap bar, and then you're going to get a full pack of Arise plus the other full enrichment system I talked about. So I can't wait to see you on the inside. This is about, we also have community. And so the beauty rebels that we have here, we're all on the mission to restore truth to an industry, to restore truth to mankind, because the truth is you don't have to be sick. You can take your power back in your health, and we want to be here to help you do it. And there's so much greenwashing, there's so much marketing, there's just so much garbage. One of the reasons we bought a farm out here is because we want to control more of our supply chain. We're USA first, with our sourcing. We support small local farms here in the U.S. Some of our bee farmers are in Colorado, and now we have bee farmers in Tennessee, and it's just so incredible. And as an herbalist, I'm wildcrafting herbs, and we're growing a lot of our supply chain here right on the farm here in Tennessee. So we're excited to support you and serve you on your journey. Join this transformation with us. Say yes to your health and yes to your future. It's a great future, and remember, your body is capable of so many amazing things. We just want to give it what it needs. And this is really just the first step. So I'll see you there, and can't wait to see you more on the inside.